I am Fridge. Welcome to episode 7 of Fantasy WICSO. At the end of not at the end, but in the last episode, we saw this area fully collapse, the blue country fully collapse, and these three areas were left. These three areas here, the blue one, the light blue one, and then this yellowish one here, are all different parts of the blue country that all want to be the blue country. So, we're going to see these ones fight, with the blue country quickly sending troops into the light blue one and getting close to this major city. They also send some into this yellow one here. Now the light blue one will push back against the blue one, pushing them back here. However, the blue one then pushes in over here and gets up to this lake, and they are outside this major city. In fact, they are starting to enter this major city, and the battle of this major city will happen. As that happens, the light blue one starts their own invasion into the blue one on this side of the river, which the capital is on this side, so this side is more defended. However, the battle of this major city has ended with a victory for the light blue team as they push back. Now, all three of these areas have different goals. The light blue one they just think that they need to end with the land they currently have, stick to that, and not expand. The blue one here, they want to expand. They don't really care if it's old land or new land, but they want obviously they're going to have to get some old land back so they can expand the new land, but they just want to expand. And the yellow one, they want to get all of the old land back that just broke away, so the yellow one is currently dying as they get pushed further into by the blue one. The blue one is the strongest, but the yellow one and the the light blue one are both currently fighting the blue one. They don't really have much of bother. They have this area here, which we will see a small push from the yellow one into this area here. But it's not much. They push up towards this river here, and they are currently getting murdered. In fact, they've been pushed all the way back to over here now. Meanwhile, the light blue one, they continue to push further in here. However, blue team troops are showing up now and pushing back as they have a new plan. Instead of pushing and taking this major city, they're going to push around here, go over the river and take the major city like that. So they push these troops out. Meanwhile, the light blue one is going to make a new invasion into the blue country after pushing these yellow team troops out. They start a new invasion in, this time over here near the major city to protect it. And they get over here, and the yellow team is going to finally start push back against the blue country, pushing them back over here. But then the light blue team is going to push into the yellow country, pushing in around this area here. Meanwhile, the yellow troops continue to push further against the blue team troops. In fact, they push them all the way back to over here. And the blue team, well, they're currently busy with their invasion of the light blue country, so they send their troops in. And they are having a lot more success up here as the light blue team pulled most of their troops back over here to deal with it over there. And they push along this way here. And they get right up to the river here. They will cross this river in what is known as the Battle of this River, which they win, and they get back to this major city. This time they successfully take it. And this is not good for the light blue team, as that was kind of their capital. That's where the leader of this rebellion, who, if you remember, these three are all siblings, and they all want to, and they all want to be in charge. They want to be the new leader. But with this, the leader is killed. The leader of this one had no care for his brother and kills him immediately. And we see this blue one, the light blue one, fall a lot afterwards. And over here, they start to push back into the yellow one again. And the yellow one is about to die as the leader takes their own life. And soon after, it completely falls. Following which, they push these light blue troops out. And the light blue team is dying. With the last few fighting, running into these other countries here. And the blue country has won. But they are too weak to expand at the moment, since they do need to rebuild. They do want some of their old land back. They want this country here, and they want this country down here. Speaking of which, I need to give capitals to all these countries, so let's do that. So major cities. First of all, I'm going to add another one in over here. That was kind of where... That was kind of the capital of the Yellow Rebellion there. Let's add some along these areas here to give them capitals. These ones are pretty close together, just a river and a bit other areas. So there we go. There's some major cities, which now I can make these into capitals. So boom, 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 boom. There we go. Anyway, so, hang over to you now. They're going to do some more exploring. And they're going to send out a lot of explorers to explore this land. As they explore along this area. Exploring more than they ever have. Usually their explorations and expansions are short and they don't do much. But they are now exploring all the way up here. And as they explore, some of their explorers get lost and die. Following which, they will end this exploration as they realize that they have done a lot more than they ever have. And they come back. And now they're going to expand. And they're going to expand in all directions, mostly this way though. And they make a pretty big expansion, which is probably going to have some consequences in the future. They now look like this though. But, anyways, hanging over here, these two countries still hate each other, and they are lying troops up here. Will they go to war yet, though? No, they will not. However, we will see them expand a bit this way. And over here, these two are still just minding their own business as they do some exploration with this salmon, I guess, colored one, exploring this way a bit. Don't explore too much though, just a little bit. And this one is also going to explore this way a bit, but they're most going to explore up the river more. And they find what they think is the coastline. It might be coastline, it might be a river, who knows? Or not a river, a lake, who knows? But they explore along it. And it's pretty big, so they think, yeah, we found the coastline. In fact, the only rivers they found are small, or like really small rivers that are not important to show on the map. So there are some major. I don't think any of the major city rivers have been discovered yet. Not rivers, lakes have been discovered yet. I'm on the wrong layer there again. Well, yay! But anyways, these countries are both going to expand. With this one expanding like this. This one expanding a little bit up this way, but mostly along the river still. Anyways, these two are doing nothing right now. Same thing with this green one and all these new countries over here. So we can head over to this area here. well, we have the yellow country, who is going to be doing some expanding, but this time they're going to be invading another country. And who do they invade? Well, they invade this country here, so they push into it, and they push to the capital pretty quickly. And after they get to here, they will stop, and they'll just take this land here, and they let this country live, but they take this land here. They then will expand up this way a bit. And this country is weak, and in fact, this area here goes away and breaks off from them before expanding a bit. So they expand, and they explore a lot of this area here first, before they expand into it. With them expanding, like this, and this country here is sad now, because they are now really small. And soon after, the yellow team is like, actually, yeah, we want some more land. So they push in again, and they take this, leaving this country just this small area here. We can move the capital there now because, well, that's kind of all that's left. So they're just left down to this, they're basically just a city-state at this point. In fact, let's just make them a city-state. So let's give, like, this area here over. Oh, wait, I'm on the long layer. Let's give this area here over to the yellow team, not that much. This area right here over to the yellow team. We can give them those 2 pixels though. Also, let's give some land to the purple team over here. Actually, this area here also broke away. Then the yellow team has like an exclave over here. But now, the blue team here has got just this. And the purple team, they need a capital, so let's give them one. Right there. They now exist, and they believe they're better than the blue team, I don't know. But anyways, up here, the gold team, they've not done much, but now they're going to expand as they explore a lot of this land here. In fact, they explore me back down with the yellow team. And they explore, and they find more river, which might be this river. In fact, they explore it, and it is that river. And they keep exploring. And after they do some exploring, they are going to do an expansion. And they are not just doing any expansion, no. They're doing a really big expansion for such a small country. As they expand, and they meet up with this river here, expanding down like this, and over here, and along this river here, all the way back over towards the yellow country here. And they just became really big, which is not good. And when I mean it's not good, I mean it's not good. Yeah, that happens. And, well, this also happens. And clearly they don't know what happens when you expand big. Which, I mean, no one had really tried in this area. But they're now collapsing pretty quickly as all these areas break away. Kind of like what happened to the blue country, but a lot quicker this time. This area here breaks away, and the yellow team is like, hey, free land, as they move in and take this quickly. And the final breakaway occurs right over here with this area breaking away. And now we have a bunch of new countries over here. Many capitals, so let's give them those. So, capital, 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 capital. Also, I just realized how close you are to the white color. Let's fix that. You can't be that color yet. We can't have countries being that close to white until later. Here, we can make you a blue. There we go. This isn't the original blue team, though. No, they're all the way over there. But one more country needs a capital still. So let's give them that. They're going to put their capital right over here on the border of this river, which is going to make Spain this way nice because, well, their capital's close to it. But that's what's happening over here, and the orange team is still crying because they want to be big, but they're not. Also, you need capital. Anyways, now heading down here, where the red team here is incredibly unstable, and that instability is about to show as we see an area over here that's a bit too close to black. We see an area over here break away. This one being an even darker red, or brown, or whatever color this is. Actually, there's a better color for this. And that color is this color here. So we see this breakaway occur. In fact, this exclave here goes away and joins in with the breakaway. And that makes the red team sad, but they're about to be more sad because they're getting invaded. Also, I've started drawing provinces, not much though. As they get invaded, and the capital gets taken pretty quickly, and, well, goodbye, red country. Now the purple team has like basically all the land back from before the war that happened over here, but the red country still exists down here. However, the painting starting to realize that the ally is useless. So, ooh. Yeah, sorry, red team, you're getting kind of crushed over here right now. Well, goodbye. Maybe they should have helped the ally when they got invaded, but they, like I said, they realized the ally sucks. So they just killed it and took some land from themselves. The one time that the purple and pink countries agreed on something was the death of that country. But maybe this country can make them great again. Maybe this country can form an empire and somehow save the death of the red country there. Yeah, that's not happening. Imagine this country forming an empire, not going to happen. Anyways, though, you apparently still need a capital, so boom. And you need a capital, so boom. Heading over to this blue country here. Like I said, they're setting up these, like, they explore, or they expand in a weird way, where they just want to explore. They don't really care about expanding much. They mostly just expand to have easier ways to explore. And when exploring happens over here, we have this layer on. So this country's going to explore over to the desert. They are keeping desert as kind of like a no going in there because it's hot, and they don't want to go into the hot desert and burn to death. They also find this river here, which they start to explore. We're also exploring the coast. And they explore a lot of this land here. With them exploring more. And eventually, the explorers head back. And now we can update the one layer here. So they're going to now expand. So they expand down here. Let me fix the ocean quickly. That's better. All this water's been explored. They expand down there though. They also expand in Saba City over here. There's also a city over here now. And the blue country, despite how spread out they are, they're managing to actually survive somehow. Meanwhile, the this is the red country over here, they could not survive. You know who can survive though? This country up here, who's going to do some expanding as well. As they explore into this land here, finding the coast over here. Also they explore up here a bit. They explore this way. And they will now be doing their expanding. So they expand as they reach over here now, and up this way a bit. In fact, they get all the way up here, which then leads to this area breaking away. This is just a video of breakaways happening, apparently. And yeah, that's how that ends. Now heading to the red area. The red country. Let me close the provinces. Actually, no, they're about to be doing some invading. They're going to be doing some invading, like I just said. As they decide to invade a pretty old country at this point. In fact, I think it's the second oldest country over here. That being this country here. So they start pushing in. They push up and take this major city here. And this country is crying right now, as they are dying. And die they do, as their capital is captured. And in the treaty, they are pushed back to just their capital. With like a ha ha ha, you may have lived, but we took everything else from you. They let them live in humiliation. In fact, they also take the sea access from them, so the coastline here they don't have. In fact, like, only half of the city is really even a country, like, more so it's like that, or more so like, let me close the provinces, and these are the provinces. More so like, fix this. Okay, so close that. Let's close those as well. Or we can even make. It's more so like all of this here is part of them. So this small bit here is what's left of the country here. This small bit here, they still exist, but very small and very humiliated. And the red country's like, oh, look what we did. And they're not going to stop there, as they start eyeing up this country down here. But they have to wait till next episode to see what happens there. This country over here, though, they're safe because, well, everyone thinks they don't exist. Everyone thinks that the country died a long time ago. They start to explore. And they find this major river here, which they will then expand over to. Meeting up with it. So I should probably turn the capitals back on. Now they look like this. Now heading over here to these countries. Someone is enjoying their expansion. Also, I just realized, apparently there's two. Oh no, those are different cards. I thought they were the same color for a second. But this country is enjoying their existence. So they now have a bunch of land to expand into. Something that they love doing. But, like always, as they expand, there's a breakaway happening. That breakaway being over here. Man, I don't like that color. That's a bit too close. There, that's a bit better. It's happening over here. As this area here breaks away. But they still expand southwards. Taking more land here. And also getting all the way over here. They then have to explore some more, so they send out some explorers to explore more of this island. And they explore the rest of this island, which this country will then take. Meanwhile, the green country is also expanding. They're not expanding as much. They expand over here. They also explore. They also explore. Exploring this here. And they find an island here. And they also explore and meet up with the blue country over here, which is also expanding. So they expand down along the coast here. And also they expand up here a bit. They don't expand too much right now either. The green team will expand a little bit more though. Now looking like this. Anyways, continuing on with the blue country up here, they're going to be doing some exploring as they explore this water here, and also they explore further up this way, finding this area here. They also start to explore this river here. And it's looking like this area here is a lot bigger than the island that they originally started on. Anyways though. Also, this green country here is called the Green Empire because someone, I don't remember who, told me to name a green country that. Anyways. That is what the blue country is looking like now. And this is where we'll end this episode, so thank you for watching, and goodbye.